Katarina is without a doubt the worst prisoner ever. Best for the viewers, but if you're the captor and you have her as your prisoner, it was game over before it even began. But to see someone who originally was known as Rufus, now fully introduced as Sora, watching the transformation of what should be a 10-hour journey to make someone a love interest in an Otome game, and to watch it happen over 20-ish minutes was something to behold. And I think the biggest takeaway for me isn't the fact that Rufus fell in love or Sora fell in love. It wasn't even the giant kiss from Best Boy, which honestly at that point he had no other option. No more taking it slow, he had to make sure it was known. That is my fiance, not any of you. But the fact that she thought it was a bug bite, not a kiss, I thought she realized after he did it, right? Because when she gets thrown to the bed, I was like, oh, yeah, she's clueless. She's thinking something different's gonna happen. Magic's gonna be placed on me. But when he went for the old neck kiss, I was like, she has to know at that point. She thought it was a bug bite. This girl isn't gonna understand what sex is until she's 80. Mark my words. This girl is just too clueless for that. And honestly, to see her harem just all stand in that room, shocked when she's casually dropping that she was forced on a bed, and they all know she doesn't know what the hell happened, but the fact that there is now more competition for them, I like how Best Boy is, you know what, he's like, I'm done playing games, I'm kissing. I thought it was going to be interrupted, because that's a Otome game, right? Interruptions are pretty much the biggest friend to the black hole. But nope, full-on kiss. I'm sure she's flustered. I'm sure next episode will kick off with her brain going into overdrive. Wait, why did he kiss me? There must be this really illogical reason, because that is how her mind works. But I have to say, watching an episode that is just her spending quality time with someone who is supposed to be the captor, and to watch the backstory, kind of really get to know a character, and make me say, you know what? If it wasn't for the kiss at the end of the episode, I might have been rooting for Sora the most. I'm not gonna lie. There was some charming atmosphere about a character who grew up in the streets and pretty much went into where he is now, and he has to follow his master. And obviously we didn't see the full continuation of his backstory, and I think that probably plays a factor. The last bit we clearly saw of his past was when he was trying to steal medicine for the person who kind of gave him life, and I assume he survived, unless maybe something else happened. Because I was thinking that the master that he was talking about was the person who we were seeing in the flashback, but I wouldn't be shocked if someone in the high-up nobility was like, hey, I'll let you have this medicine, but you're gonna work for me for life, which is why he's indebted. Hard to say, but I honestly found myself to really enjoy Sora as a character. I wasn't expecting to say that. I mean, I knew he was gonna join the harem, because anyone who looks at Katarina is pretty much like one of the 10 Commandments of the series, thou shalt love Bakarina, right? But to see a show where we take someone who just keeps thinking like, this is the moment, she's going to be fearful. Oh shit, she's knocked out on the bed, having the best sleep of her life. Okay, here's the food, eat up. She finally rings the bell, she must be begging to go home. I want seconds. And the bonding sequences between them I thought was really interesting. It was actually, in my opinion, one of the most natural connections that this anime has going for. I think the reasons everyone ends up loving Katarina, they do make sense. But for me personally, there's just a charming atmosphere about someone who clearly was dealt a really bad hand in life. You can see how he ended up in this situation, and he just felt like, well, yes, he was following orders. As soon as he started having his own opinions, he very much latched onto them, and rather than running away when he knew the cat was out of the bag, he took his punishment with a smile and was gonna keep the promise. I like how she actually messed up with pinky swears, because they don't have those in their world, so she had to kind of make up something on the spot. But it was just really great. I found myself just really connected to this Sora character, and I hope we get to see more of him in the future. I imagine with basically the harem's luck, he'll get a couple of days in the slammer and be able to get out scot-free. I mean, just look at towards the end of the episode. So a girl who had such a tragic story seemingly was engaged to someone she loved but didn't love her back. Everyone hates her. Turns out, nope, he's madly in love with her. He just is a bit flustered when around her, so he felt a bit distant because they're not married yet. And, you know, given the times, you can't be too connected if you're not married, because how dare you show affection before marriage? Blasphemy, right? But it's nice because this felt like a really solid and different arc. Obviously, the threat's still there that it happened to begin with, and the idea of wanting to basically remove the competition so the eldest brother was guaranteed the throne. But the fact of the matter is that the fact that this could happen in the first month of Otome Game Season 2, who knows where the second and third month will go? Because if we started with a kidnapping in the season, where are we going next? Attempted murder? Is it going to be even more deadly because we get the information that even more dark magic was used, so someone had to have been sacrificed to give Sora that ability? He wasn't even asked about it, he was knocked out when he woke up he had it, so there's definitely some dark undertones while still keeping true to the formula that makes this show so great. And honestly, it's surprising that you can still introduce new love interests for this black hole and have me say, you know what, the cast ain't bloated yet. Because it almost feels, and maybe I'm the only one feeling this, but when you take a shot like this, right, all the characters shocked and in awe that not only did they find her, but people were making moves on her when they weren't around. I could just imagine this gets 5 seasons or something, right? Let's just throw an oddball number. We would see a situation like that, but rather than it being like a dozen characters, it'd be 100 characters in the background. And there's something hilarious about the thought of Katarina not understanding that these hundreds of people behind her who are being like, no, I'm going to be with you, and she makes up this illogical reason of why it's happening. That's hilarious to me. So for me, as long as they keep making decent backstory and present day personalities, I mean, I'm good with it. I mean, Sora at first was just kind of like the villain who you knew was going to end up joining the Harem. But this episode came in swinging saying, hey, he's going to be one of your favorites, and he absolutely was. But like I said, I can't deny Best Boy getting the kiss, it brought a giant grin to my face. I still agree with it. The fact of the matter is, he is the one engaged with her, and until she breaks it off, I mean, really, this is going to be the formula. Of course, she has tried to break it off in Season 1, but given the fact that she is so clueless to what love and romance truly is because they all are in love, she hasn't picked, and I firmly believe this will end in some form of poly relationship where they're all married somehow, and honestly, she probably won't even realize why they're married. She just wants to make everyone happy, not realizing that they're all in love. But that is the beauty of this show. Very excited for more. I imagine either next week or the week after, Sora will probably return. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if he joins up in the school and things like that, but it'll be interesting to see where they take it and how many more love interests this season will have before it wraps up. It's crazy too, because I'd probably say this is my favorite episode of Season 2 so far, and it was in just a single location the entire time. Her little room, where she was so embarrassed to admit the fact that the reason she looked so great when everyone came to rescue her is that she had a better life here than she did at home where she didn't have to work. This show knows how to make everything captivating, and it's why it's always the last show I watch on Friday. I review 3 things on Friday, and I always watch Otome Game last because it's the one that I think is the best way to transition to the weekend, smile on your face, you know, even if there's a kidnapping, it's probably gonna be okay, and you're always going to leave feeling very satisfied. Similar to like Saturday morning cartoons, just this time instead of superheroes beating the living shit out of villains, we have a black hole sucking up more love interest than you can possibly count, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this week's Otome Game episode. We hope to see next week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy and you're around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.